Chapter 8. Pale light poured into the room from behind Sean and me. Gripping the knob in one hand, I leaned into the doorway, shocked by what I was staring at. The room was bare. No furniture. No tall shelves bursting with knickknacks and souvenirs. The room had no windows. The floor was empty too. I pulled the door open all the way, letting more light in. Sean stood beside me, shaking his head. "This is a forbidden room? There's nothing here. Is this one of Uncle Jim's jokes?" Then, in deep shadow, something came into focus against the back wall. I took a few steps into the room. I spotted a light switch and clicked on a dim ceiling light. In the light, I could see the whole room clearly. The walls were concrete stones from floor to ceiling. Against the back wall, the dark shape I had spotted turned out to be a tall chest. I pointed. "It's like the treasure chests in the other room." My voice sounded hollow in the small stone room. Our shoes scraped on the concrete floor as we stepped up to the chest. The wooden chest was painted black, but it looked gray under a thick layer of dust. A heavy chain was wrapped tightly around it, and a rusted lock, much like the one on the door, hung from the lid. "Maybe this chest has real pirate treasure in it," I said. "Maybe it's worth millions of dollars. And Uncle Jim keeps it locked and chained to make sure it's safe." "Then we definitely have to open it," Sean said. "What if there's a pirate curse on it?" I said. "Don't the pirates put curses on things in the Johnny Depp movies?" Sean laughed. "You're starting to sound like Uncle Jim. Since when do you believe in evil curses?" I shrugged. Sean grabbed the lock. "I'll bet this is like the lock on the door. Watch it crumble to pieces with one tug." He gave it a hard tug. The chain bounced against the lid, but the lock didn't fall apart. He jerked it again, twisting the lock against the chain. He tried one more time, pulling with all his strength. "This one isn't cooperating," I said. "Let's try the chain. Maybe there's a weak link." I grabbed the chain. It was heavier than I thought. The metal was scratchy from rust. But no matter how much I tugged it and twisted it, I couldn't get it to break apart. "I think Uncle Jim really wants to keep this one a secret," I said, wiping sweat off my forehead with the back of my hand. "There has to be a key to the lock," Sean said, staring at it. He rubbed his jaw. "Now where would Uncle Jim hide the key?" I gazed around the empty stone room. Nowhere here to hide it, I decided. I'll bet he keeps the key on him. You know, maybe on a chain around his neck, to make sure no one can find it. I suddenly realized that Sean wasn't listening to me. He was walking along the wall, rubbing a hand on the stones. "Sean, what are you doing?" I demanded. He didn't answer. He stopped. He tapped a stone on the wall just above his head. "Look, Violet. This stone. It's lighter than the others. It's a different color." "So?" I said. "Why are we interested in the stones?" "I'll show you," he said. He curled his hand and began clawing at the stone. I saw that he was trying to press his fingernails into the cracks between the stone and the rest of the wall. It took a minute or so to manage it. Then he wiggled the stone right out of the wall. "I knew it!" he cried. He reached into the hole and pulled out a large brass key. I clapped my hands. "Sean, when did you become a genius?" I said. "When I was born," he said, grinning, showing off the 2 deep dimples in his cheeks. He handed me the key. I held my breath and lowered it to the rusted lock. It slid in easily. I gave it a turn and the lock popped open. "This is almost too easy," I said. I turned to my brother. "Last chance to forget about this room, forget this trunk, and go find somewhere else to explore." Sean tugged at the heavy steel chain. "No way. It's too late to chicken out, Violet. We've already undone the lock." I let out a sigh. "Okay, here we go." I tugged the chain off the trunk and let it clatter to the floor. Then Sean and I both grabbed the latch and clicked it open. I reached for the lid of the chest, preparing to push it open, but I stopped when I heard a sound behind us at the doorway. Sean and I both turned to the sound. My heart skipped a beat when I saw Celeste sitting upright inside the door. The cat's green eyes slid from Sean to me. Her tail waved once, moving silently over the concrete floor. Then Celeste tilted her head to one side and said, "I'm telling Admiral Jim."